Hey everyone, this is Lee here, and welcome to Lock and Load, done for you, high response email marketing. So what we have here, I have a bunch of templates for you, and they're divided into different situations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the different ones in different videos, and then I'll give you some tips and some strategies that I've used and also my coaching students to get the highest responses and getting good quality leads and even sales. So I'm going to start off here with some tips, and this is you'll see these in every template, and this is in general the same tips apply to regardless of what templates you're using. Okay, so the first one is your primary objective is to get a response to start a conversation. You're not trying to sell on the very first email that you send. All right, you're just trying to start a conversation, and you don't want to it's kind of like dating. You don't want to kind of go to bed, pardon the pun, on the first date. So once you get the conversation started, then you can get on the phone with them, or you can continue an email conversation, whatever you choose, or try to get them onto some kind of link that you have, or a video. My recommendation is usually to get on the phone. So you start a conversation with them, you send out an email, and then you'll have a call to action on every email, which I'll show you. But normally what we're going for is a response first, for them to respond to your email, and then you try to lead them into a phone appointment. Okay. And if you want to try something else, like continue the conversation in email, that's up to you. But again, I usually recommend the phone. Now, number two, you're only interested in the people who give you a positive response. Okay. So, you're trying to really get into when you're reaching out to people via cold email, you're interrupting them, but you're also trying to get into a conversation in their head about, something that they might want to do or what might want to accomplish depending on what you're sending. Okay. So, the people that are interested are going to respond to you, and the ones that aren't interested, or, they give you a hard time, or, they complain about you or whatever, don't worry about them too much, because honestly, at the end of the day, you're not really talking to them, right? And that's what it says here. For everyone else, your attitude has to be, I wasn't talking to you. So you want to capture the attention of people who need, what I say here, what the webinar is pitching, but really it's whatever you're pitching, right this second. Number three, and you probably saw this in the quick start guide, but the most effective cold email are the ones that are the most personalized. Okay, what I mean by personalization is you find what I call a hook, which is something that led you to, a connection with that company, whether it be, like a blog post that they had on their website, or maybe a social media post, something on Twitter or Facebook, or maybe you found something in a third-party source like a magazine or a newspaper article. Those are hooks that lead you into, contacting that company. And by doing that, it really shows whoever you're emailing that, hey, you took the time to learn more about them, and it's going to lead to a better response rate. Now, is it absolutely necessary? No, it's not. But just know that the less personal your email, the less response you're going to get. So if you know that up front, then then you can carry on with your outreach program. Now, it may not matter that your response rates go down, because maybe you're sending enough emails that enough people are interested, that the people that aren't interested, it doesn't matter. So that's really up to your personal situation. And then the fourth thing is, you want to be absolutely conversational and genuine with with these people. you want to, you don't want to be robotic and you don't want to sound too corporate or too salesy. My approach is like a kinder, gentler approach, and not so much, bang you over the head and try to sell you something. Okay. So you want to be conversational and, just like in the first tip, you just want to start that dialogue, and build rapport with your prospect. And you also want to be genuine. You don't want to deceive them in anything. Now that, deception, there's there's different levels of deception. In marketing in general, there is a little bit of sort of gamesmanship involved. But you don't want to outright lie to people or trick them. Okay. So with that, let's go ahead and look at the templates. So what I've done is I've given you a range of different templates, and they range in their different types of tone, different types of personalization, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's really up to you. You can choose whichever template kind of resonates with you the most. And what I recommend is to use more than one and split test them and see what converts better for you, because different messages will resonate with different niches, okay, and different audiences. So what worked in one niche may not necessarily work for another. So that's why there's going to be variance in your response rates and open rates, okay? So these are for SEO. But what you'll find is these templates, you can really personalize them in such a way that you can use them in any application. So these are specific to SEO, for example, but there's nothing that says you can't modify these a little bit to use in, say, social media. Okay, and you'll see when you see the other videos, you'll see that there's some repeats, slightly modified, and that's on purpose because it just shows how you can vary each template to fit your situation. So this first one is a highly personalized email. Okay, so when I say I saw your content type, so maybe you saw some blog post of theirs or something like that, or you saw an article maybe that the person wrote, your target wrote, or that was written about them in a newspaper or whatever magazine. So for example, I saw your article in the Daily Planet. So what happens is when your subject line is this personalized, you're going to get a really, really high open rate. It's almost impossible for them to ignore this type of email, because something, especially when it's something like a third party, reference to them, it's going to be impossible for them not to open. And that's why you can see how much more effective it is when you personalize the content. Okay, so I give you a range of different types of subject lines, and the thing about subject lines too, again, is that you can use, you can mix and match them. You can use some of the subject lines you see here for different body copy. Okay, so it's up to you to kind of split test, because what you'll find is that just like using different templates for different niches would yield different results, you'll also find that different subject lines mixed with different body copy will yield in different types of results. So that's completely up to you to test that and find what works best for you and your target market. Okay, so these are some example subject lines, and then so here we go with the body copy. At a minimum, you'll see that all of them have at least their first name. Okay, you should always have that. So in this case, this is a highly personalized email. I saw the advice on your website or blog or whatever regarding what you said about building a better mousetrap, and it's been a real eye opener. I'm going to take your advice immediately. So right away, right from the start, you're telling them, hey, I'm going to, I enjoyed your content, and I'm actually going to, it means something to me, and if it means something to me, it's going to mean something to them. Okay. and then you lead into kind of your pitch, or what your value proposition, I should say. And what your value proposition is what can you do for them? What is having you in their presence, in their business? How is that going to affect their business, and how is that going to impact them for the positive? Okay, so you kind of stroke them a little bit more and say, with content of that quality, you can definitely get more leads for your business, especially if it can reach a wider audience. Our company specializes in getting your expert content in front of more people to help increase leads and sales. Now you'll notice, so this is an SEO email. You'll notice that I'm not saying things like, I can get you number one on Google, or I can, get you more traffic. Number one, those are things that spammers write. Okay, and we're not engaging in spam whatsoever. Number two, I like to use what I call outcome-based copy. And that is, we're talking about what kind of outcomes they can expect by engaging you, okay? Regardless of what service you give them. Ultimately what they're looking for is, say, getting their content in front of more people to help increase leads and sales, okay? So ultimately they want more sales and more leads, or whatever the case may be, more patients, more phone calls. That's what they want. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter if you're optimizing their website, or a lead generation website, or a YouTube video, or anything else. It doesn't matter what you're doing on the back end, as long as at the end of the day, they get the outcome they're looking for. Okay? So that's why it's not necessarily specific to SEO per se, but you can achieve the outcome that you're telling them that you can achieve with SEO. Or you can achieve it with inbound content marketing, or you can achieve it with pay-per-click advertising, okay? Whatever the case may be. So we're not telling them, I can get you number one on Google and all that kind of nonsense. It's whatever outcome they can expect when they work with you. And now here's the call to action. And, in these templates, you'll notice I'm not apologizing, I'm sorry to interrupt you, I know you're busy, that kind of thing. We don't want to be wishy-washy. We want to be at least on equal level. We want to be peers with these people, if not even superior, quote unquote. Okay? We don't want to come in cold, reaching out to them and being like, yeah, I'm sorry to bother you, man, but could you take the time to acknowledge my email maybe? We don't want to be in that position. We want to be, hey, we're going to help you with this. We're going to help you by us being partners with you. Your business is going to improve, and we're going to help you. And you and I are peers. Okay. And then you'll see at the end of every template, every different swipe file, you'll see a signature. And if you don't know what this is, I want you to refer to the Quick Start guide, because it explains exactly what to put in the signature. But I'll briefly explain it. This is where you put your name, your URL, your position or title within your company, your company name, things like that. It's up to you what you want to include and exclude. But what you should include also, and it's in the Quick Start guide, is there's some verbiage to, if they reply to you, it'll sort of unsubscribe them. Okay. To be compliant with spam laws, you need to have that. And you also need to have a physical address. And I cover that in the Quick Start guide. So that's all I need to say about that. So this particular template, again, is very much personalized, and it's very much, it's kind of neutral. It's not too salesy, but it's also not, too conversational either. So it's kind of somewhere in the middle. Now in this next template, this is a little bit more direct. Now, and you'll notice also that all these emails are a little short. You don't want to send them like a 20-page sales letter, okay? In the same way that I said earlier, you don't want to sell them on the first email. 5 sentences maximum and all these templates follow that guideline. So this is just a couple of sentences, and this is really simple. Do you offer, whatever some specific service, like do you offer Invisalign? And this is, a little bit of social engineering, because we're not outright telling them that we're, trying to sell them something, but we're also not telling them that we're not. Okay. So, we need to get them to open the email. So it's kind of teetering on that line, but we need to, our objective is for them to open the email, and then we'll explain more about it when they do. So in this case, I have an idea that I think could really increase the number of, say, Invisalign patients for Bright Smiles Dental. Okay. Do you have a minute this afternoon to discuss? So really quick to the point. And if you're not comfortable with this subject line, you can, again, they're throughout the different templates, there are all kinds of different subject lines. So, you can use that. But I offer just about, everything I know, and it's up to you to pick and choose what you want to use. All right. So this template is a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more direct, and, very short to the point. So this one is, again, more of personalized template. So it's very similar to the first one. However, you'll notice here that you're saying that you got a specific type of result for somebody else. If you have results, if you have, an existing business and you've got existing clients and you've gotten, good numbers, definitely include that if you can. Okay. So, I helped the other dentist, Dr. Smith DDS, increase their patients by up to 45%, resulting in an extra, $30,000 in revenue annually. So again, and you can feel free to modify this a little bit to suit your situation, just to make sure it makes sense. Okay. But if you have those kinds of results, go ahead and say it. And again, call to action. Please let me know when you have a few minutes. Trying to get the phone call. All right. So next, this is a little less personalized, but it's still pretty personalized. Still, I came across your blog post. It's clear that you're a quality, nutritionist. We've helped the other nutritionists increase their business by X% last year. I'm convinced, we can, you can do the same, or we can do the same for you. You have 15 minutes on your calendar to see how, we can help you reach your goal within the next month. Now, this is a little less personalized. So if you don't have time or the inclination to sit there and, pick out blog posts for every person you're emailing, then this is probably more your speed. And again, and I keep saying this, but it's going to be less of or you're going to get a lesser response rate and possibly a lesser open rate with less personal emails. Okay, just so you know. But that might be okay for you. Okay. So again, same type of subject line. I'm looking for a particular business type, looking for a landscaper, whatever. Or I have a question for a personal trainer, or just simply quick question. I found this subject line to be very effective in many situations. And now here, this is again a little more straightforward. Would you like to hear an idea to get, Smith Nutrition's message out to a wider audience in less than 48 hours? So what we're doing here, again, is more of an outcome-based type of message. Okay, I'm not telling them get number one in Google. We're telling them we're going to get your message out to more people. We're going to get more eyeballs onto your message. Again, outcome-based. And so, for example, if you're selling SEO, a lot of times, you can demonstrate to them, to your prospect, you can rank something within a couple of days, and this is a perfect opportunity to kind of sell them that. we can get you a wider audience less than 48 hours. So then, when they reply or, you have a phone conversation, then you can explain what that is, however, whatever your magic trick is to get them ranked, then you go into that. Okay. So, I can show you how it's done for free in less than 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. This is a little bit more of the same, except this one now includes that component of, results that you've gotten in the past. Okay, and this is a bit more conversational than some of the other templates. So here I've been following, your company for a little while, and I think you're doing an awesome job with your website. I did spot something that could make it even better. You'll be able to double the registrations on your contact form within just a couple of weeks. That should say within. And then, so again, SEO, you can help them double the registrations basically by doing your SEO tricks on the back end, getting them ranked or whatever, increasing their traffic with the end goal of trying to increase their registrations for their lead generation. Okay. Now, here's a little trick. One of the strategies that my students use, and that is, so you say, I made a short video for you that shows exactly what I'm talking about. Just reply and I'll send you the video right away. What does this mean? So what you're doing is you're sending them, you're kind of avoiding the phone with this kind of thing, but it's actually pretty effective too because it's also personalized. So what you're going to do is you're going to send these emails to a bunch of your prospects, okay? And then when they reply and they say, okay, I want to see the video, then what you can do is make the video of their website, and then whatever tricks you're going to do to rank them or get them more registrations or demo something or whatever the case is. Okay, so in other words, if the person you send this to replies, at that time you can go ahead and do the video. But if they don't reply, at least you didn't waste your time on the front end making all these custom videos, and then nobody responds, and then you have all these videos that are pretty much worthless. Okay, so that's the trick. You send these out, and whoever's interested, then you make a video, and then you send that video to them when they ask for it. So that's a pretty nice way of getting them some engagement and showing exactly what kind of results you can give. And that's always a good thing when you can show them results in advance of engaging you for whatever service. Now this type of template is more, you're asking a direct question, you're asking for help, and you're asking, are you the right person for this type of engagement that I'm asking for? Who do I talk to about adding a simple and convenient way for your company to increase the number of qualified leads coming from your website? Is that you? So the goal here is to get a response, yes, that's me. What is this about? So again, this is more direct, more straightforward, and it's very obvious that you're going to sell something. But, again, I give you a range of applications, a range of different types of templates to suit whatever your style and whatever you need to accomplish. And this is more for like if you do lead generation and you're ranking your own sites to try to get local leads and you sell those leads to local businesses, this template is pretty good for that. So you have a plumbing question or you need help with roofing. I was wondering if you were looking for more leads or more customers. We have customers looking for roofers, and recently we've been generating more leads than our current client can handle. Would you be able to take these on? So the point is for them to be interested in taking your leads, the leads you're generating from, whatever website you have, or if you're going to try to sell them lead services on the back end, you can do that. And then this one, I believe this is the last one. So, you kind of stroke them a little bit again, and, I like what I see on your website. So it's very general. Obviously, you probably didn't look at the website. Okay, let's be honest. But, we try to at least be a little bit personal. But anyway, so when you continue, so there's a minor tweak you could make that would increase the number of people who fill out your contact form. Takes about 5 minutes and it's easy to do. Do you have some time tomorrow so I can walk you through it? So this is, if you have some kind of widget or something that, or some kind of traffic trick, and if you're the type, if you're an SEO or do some kind of service where you demonstrate something for free on the front end, and then, like for example, you give them some kind of result, and you let them sit on it for a week or two, and then after that you call them and say, okay, now you've seen what I can do. Let's sign up. Let's sign you up for some services. So this is that kind of template that works for that kind of application. Okay, and that is the last one. So hopefully you guys get the different types of templates, different types of styles, different subject lines. And again, all you got to do is fill in the blanks, pick a template, fill in blanks, and then go ahead and deploy it. And again, these are the same ones that I've used, my students have used. So you can expect, hopefully, a reasonable return on the responses and the open rates. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.